Are you moving to Atlanta and you want to live in the most popular neighborhoods, but you don't know what those are? Perhaps you have a big fear of FOMO. For you old timers, that's fear of missing out. So you want to make sure that you position yourself to live in the trendiest areas of Atlanta. Well, this video is for you. I'm going to break down my 5 most popular or trendy neighborhoods here in the Atlanta area. So let's go. Hey there, my name is Molly and welcome to my channel. Now let's just get right into it. So popular areas in Atlanta, to be honest, trying to just pick 5 is really hard to do here in the Atlanta area. There's a lot of popular neighborhoods. I tried to put a condensed list here so you can kind of focus on maybe 5, but if you want to know more, reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. Let's have a conversation and I can help you make a move to the Atlanta area and make sure that you are positioned in a great spot here in the Atlanta area that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Okay, so in no particular order, I am going through a list, but make sure you listen to the end because the last one I have on my list is probably one of the most popular requests that I get about living in, but then some people say, okay, never mind, when they see what price point you have to pay to get into that neighborhood. First up on my list would be Inman Park. A lot of people ask about living in Inman Park. I get a lot of out-of-towners that go and hang out there. They're like, wow, this is great. There you can walk to shops, you can walk to the Beltline. If you don't know what the Beltline is, check out some of the videos on my channel. I talk about the Beltline, I ride on the Beltline, so make sure you don't miss that. But it's a small neighborhood, so it's very walkable from one end to the other. It's also really close to a lot of other great neighborhoods. It has pretty easy access over to some main roads to get onto the highway. It's just a really cool vibe. I would say it's not overly snooty, if you will. I feel like a lot of people that live there are just kind of relaxed and chill. One thing to keep note of is you're going to notice there's a lot of beautiful architecture in this neighborhood, Victorian style homes, large mansion style homes, and smaller bungalows too. And you may see some old rickety bungalows that need some love, but don't think you can just go and buy it and tear it down. This is a historic neighborhood, so there are a very stringent rules on what you can renovate and keeping the exterior features looking the same in the neighborhood. What does it cost to live here? Well, it does get expensive. So a single family home right now the average is $1.387 million. There are some condos and townhomes. The condos are averaging around $525,000 and townhomes around $963,000. So that kind of gives you an idea of price ranges. Now, I saw a couple homes there that were in the low 600 range, but to give you an idea of what you get for that, there was one that sold, it was just low 600s. It had like 900 square feet and was kind of a fixer-upper. So that kind of gives you an idea of, you know, kind of the lower price range. But I would say definitely plan to spend over $1 million if you want a decent single family home there. One other drawback about Inman Park is that no one ever wants to leave. So in the last 6 months, there were only 8 single family homes that sold in this neighborhood. So if you're really wanting to get into this neighborhood, be patient because there's just not a lot of homes that are on the market at any one time. And when there are, it's usually very competitive. So just a little FYI there. Next on my list would be Midtown. I have a lot of people that call in asking me about living in the Midtown area. It's definitely a popular place to live just because it is very centrally located. It's right by 75, 85. You can get that city living feel with all of the high-rise condos. And if you're not a high-rise condo person, there are some mid-rise condos as well. So you don't necessarily have to live in a high-rise to live in Midtown. They also have a garden district area with a lot of single-family homes. Now you may be wondering, what does it cost to live in Midtown? Midtown for a condo, the average price is around $479,000. A single-family home, average price point right now is $1.18 million. So those single-family homes are a little expensive, but the great thing about Midtown, it is very walkable. It is right next to Piedmont Park, which is always a great place to go to hang out, especially on wonderful, nice days. You're gonna see that park packed. There's a big dog park there. There's the botanical gardens. There's a public pool. It's just a nice place to take a walk or a jog. I run around there all the time, but it's also an artsy neighborhood. You know, on the northern end of this neighborhood, there's a lot of art institutions. There is the High Museum of Art, there is the Woodruff Arts Museum, Alliance Theater, so if you want to go watch a symphony play, something like that, you could go there. There's also on the southern end the beautiful Fox Theater, which always has all sorts of different Broadway shows, etc. So there's a lot to do in the Midtown area, some great restaurants. All the parades always seem to go down Peachtree Street in the Midtown area. There's also the Botanical Gardens, which is a great place to visit, and you definitely need to go there during the holiday months because their garden light show is amazing. It doesn't matter what age you are, trust me on this, you will all enjoy it. I think what attracts a lot of people to Midtown is that no matter what budget you're looking in, as long as you're willing to live in a condo, there is something for everybody. I mean, there are some condos in Midtown that are in that upper 200K range, maybe a little bit less, but they won't be, you know, over the top exciting. They'll just be a place to live. But you can go from anything in the 200s up to the luxury condo range up into the $1-2 million range. So there's a little bit of something for everyone that's wanting to have that city lifestyle. Number 3 on my list would be Brook Haven. Now, Brook Haven is its own city. It spans roughly from I-85 up to I-285. So that's a really, really big area, but the whole area is definitely popular to live in. Now, I want to talk about a couple neighborhoods in particular, and that would be Ashford Park, Drew Valley, Brook Haven Fields. These all run along Dresden Drive, and on Dresden Drive, there is a line of, you know, a few little places to eat, a few shops. There's like a wine shop. So a lot of people like living around there because it gives you a little bit of that walkability. But if you are looking for kind of a newer single family home that's sizable, you know, 4,000, 5,000 square feet with a 2-car garage, has kind of the newer finishes, the newer trendy looks, this is where you want to go. They are building new homes here all the time. So it's definitely a sought out neighborhood for those people that are looking for a little bit more space. And the price range, you know, for a new build in that area, it's you know, over that $2 million mark, but there's some beautiful homes in there. Now, the average price point, let's just say Ashford Park, for example, the average price point in Ashford Park is $1.21 million. But like I said, if you want one of those newer builds, you're going to be looking anywhere in that 1.7 range up to even 2.5 range. So there is kind of a spread there. It just kind of depends on its location and how big it is. Now in, let's say, Ashford Park in particular, there's not a lot of townhomes and condos. There are a few, but the average townhome price is $612,000 and a condo there is around $371,000. But again, not a ton of options there. It's a lot more single family homes, but beautiful area. And a great thing about living in this area is that you are very close to Buckhead, so you can drive over there for date nights or shopping. I mean, it's about a 5-minute drive, so it's really great location there. It's also not too far from I-85. You also have Buford Highway if you're kind of a foodie and seek out some of that ethnic cuisine. That's kind of a fun place to go. And also it's right close to town Brook Haven, which has one of the only Costco's that's ITP. So you are really close to that. And there's a few other shops in that town Brook Haven area as well. Number 4 on my list would be Buckhead. Now, if you don't know what Buckhead is, then you haven't been doing your Atlanta research right, because Buckhead is one of the most affluent areas here in Atlanta, so it gets a lot of attention. Now remember, Buckhead is a very big, massive area. It expands most of the northern part of the Atlanta city limits, and there are over 43 different neighborhoods that make up the Buckhead area. The average sales price for a single family home is around $1.56 million. A townhome is around $731,000 and a condo $491,000. Now, remember, if you look at a specific neighborhood, that average price point could definitely change. For example, Tuxedo Park, that is the most luxurious neighborhood. It is really nice with like the big mega mansions and the big, 1 to 2 acre lots. So that's going to definitely be a higher price point. But overall, if you're looking at Buckhead as a whole, expect to pay $1.5 million for a single family home. So why is Buckhead so popular? Well, you get a great mix of views and scenery. So if you are craving more of that city life and you like more of that concrete jungle and high-rise living, you can certainly get that in the heart of Buckhead along Peachtree Road. There's a lot of high-rise condos ranging from kind of your average older condo buildings to some luxury high-rise condo buildings, and there's some mid-rise garden level style condos buildings as well. But you know, along Peachtree Road, you're going to find all of your shopping. So a couple of different malls to choose from. There's also the Buckhead Village area, which has some high-end shopping, and that's a very walkable area, is that Buckhead Village area. But if you don't want to live by all of that, all you have to do is drive about 5 minutes away from the heart of the Buckhead area, and you'll find yourself in a very serene, scenic neighborhood with a nice grassy yard and a white picket fence. And it's not going to even feel like you're living in the city. It's going to be more woodsy and just everyone taking really good care of their yards. I don't know what it is, but Buckhead, they know how to take care of their yards and keep everything pristine. So that's what I think is great about the Buckhead area, is it's really, really nice. And you can also be close to all the restaurants and shopping if you want to be, but you don't necessarily have to live in a concrete jungle if you don't want to. Also, another big draw to the Buckhead area would be the Chastain Park area. It's got a golf course, there's some great amenities, and the neighborhood that's around it is also called Chastain Park, and it is beautiful. You can get some really nice custom homes along there, and those are going to be in the $2 to $5 million range, or even up from there. But there's some great neighborhoods in the Buckhead area. I really like Garden Hills, there's Peachtree Hills, like I said, the Chastain Park area. And by the way, if you're interested in hearing more about any of these neighborhoods that I'm mentioning, just go check out my channel. I have a vlog tour on all of these neighborhoods that I'm talking about. Finally, the last pick for my top 5 trendy neighborhoods here in the Atlanta area would be Virginia Highland. I mean, everyone I talk to that is a new buyer of mine that wants to move here or is looking online, they all ask me about Virginia Highland, and they would love to live there because it is one of the most sought after neighborhoods because of its walkability and just its overall location in the city. I mean, it's right by Piedmont Park. You've got the Beltline. There's its own little mixture of restaurants and shops and that kind of thing. And plus you can really have it all. You can have that house, you can have a yard, and you can be close to all the fun city stuff right here in the Virginia Highland area. So a lot of people ask about it, but then we start looking at homes or seeing what you get for your money, and then some people, you know, it's just not affordable for everybody. There are some condos and some townhomes that make it a little bit more affordable, but I will say the condos that are here in the Virginia Highland area are older. So if you're wanting a condo that has a garage and an elevator, you're not going to find that here in the Virginia Highland, except if you look at the Roycraft, which is a newer condo building that they're building right on the Beltline. You can get that, but the starting price point for those start in the upper 400s and they go up to the $1 million range. So single family home though, right now, average price point is 1.28 million. But I would say if you want a decent 4-bedroom, 3-bath that's been updated, doesn't need a lot of work, you're definitely going to be looking more in that 1.6, 1.7 range. New builds in Virginia Highland, they are starting to get up there in price. I'm almost having sticker shock, but some of them are going for 2.5, 2.7 million. So just be prepared for some of the price points. And but people pay because they like the location. So you may not get the perfect house in Virginia Highland unless you're willing to pay for it. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, people like this because the school system is known to be good, and all the walkability that Virginia Highland offers, it's definitely one that a lot of people like to live in. Now, just like Inman Park, Virginia Highland can get very competitive when it comes to snatching up a single family home in this neighborhood. So if you're wanting something in this neighborhood, we do see more sales happen in this neighborhood than Inman Park, but it still is very competitive. So just be aware of that. There you have it. There's my 5 trendy neighborhoods here in the Atlanta area for 2024. Now, like I said, it was really hard to condense this down to only 5 options because there's so many more great neighborhoods here in Atlanta. So reach out to me. Let's have a conversation about some areas that would best fit your lifestyle and your budget. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, whether you're moving tomorrow or next year. Don't be shy to reach out. We can have a conversation. Can't wait to hear from you. Now, if you see me out in the wild, make sure you say hello. Just say, hey, Molly, you're that YouTube girl. I love running into you guys. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.